What if lying was impossible? If you woke up tomorrow and every human being lost the ability to lie, your marriage wouldn't survive breakfast, your job wouldn't survive lunch, and civilization as we know it, gone by dinner. Before we destroy society together, let's establish exactly what we're dealing with here. At midnight tonight, every human on Earth loses the neurological ability to speak anything except the complete truth as they believe it. Not what is true, but what they genuinely think is true. This means, 1, you can't lie. Not white lies, not social lies, not lies to protect someone's feelings. Your brain physically cannot construct a false statement when you know it's false. 2, you can still be wrong. If you genuinely believe the Earth is flat, you can say it's flat. Delusions and mistaken beliefs aren't lies, they're just wrong. The difference? Intent. If you know something is false, you cannot say it. 3, omission still works. You don't have to volunteer information. You can stay silent. But if someone asks you a direct question and you choose to answer, it must be true. 4, this affects everyone simultaneously. World leaders, your boss, your spouse, your children, strangers on the street, no exceptions. 5, this isn't magic, it's neurological. Your brain's prefrontal cortex simply cannot formulate deceptive speech anymore. You can think about lying, plan what you wish you could say, but when words leave your mouth, they're true. And most importantly, everyone knows this happened. There was no announcement, but within the first few hours, everyone realizes, wait, I can't lie anymore, and neither can anyone else. So what happens? Hour 1, the morning after. It's 6 a.m., alarms are going off around the world, and relationships are about to detonate. Sarah rolls over to her husband, Mark. Good morning, honey. Did you sleep well? Mark's mouth opens. What he wants to say, yeah, great. What comes out? Not really. Your snoring kept me up again, and honestly, I've been sleeping better when you're not here. Sarah freezes. Mark freezes. Neither of them understands what just happened, but the day is already ruined. But that's nothing compared to what's happening at breakfast tables worldwide. Mommy, do you love Daddy? The mother's brain screams, yes, of course. But her mouth, unable to construct the lie she's been telling herself for 2 years, says, not the way I used to. Sometimes I think about what my life would be like if we'd never married. Her husband drops his coffee cup. And this scene, this exact horror, is playing out in millions of homes simultaneously. Hour 2, the workplace collapses. By 8 a.m., people are arriving at work, and corporate culture, built entirely on polite deception, implodes instantly. Good morning, how was your weekend? Terrible. I spent the entire time dreading coming back here. I hate this job, and I'm only here because I need the money. An employee walks into their boss's office for a routine check-in. How's the Henderson project coming along? I haven't started it. I've been pretending to work while browsing social media. The Henderson project is boring, and I don't think it matters. The boss tries to fire them professionally. I'm sorry, but this isn't working out. We're going to have to let you go. What comes out? I'm firing you because you're not profitable enough, and I personally find you annoying. Also, I've been padding my own numbers for years. Congratulations, they're both unemployed now. Hour 3, service industry meltdown. By 9 a.m., retail and service industries are in chaos. A customer asks a Starbucks barista, "How are you today?" "I'm exhausted from working 2 jobs because this one pays poverty wages. I hate making your complicated drink, and I think you're entitled for asking for 17 modifications." The customer, shocked, tries to complain to management. "Excuse me, but that employee was incredibly rude." The manager interrupts. "I know, she's right though. We don't pay enough and customers like you are exhausting. But I can't fire her because I'm understaffed and corporate doesn't care." No one's having a good customer service experience anymore. Hour 4. Marketing and advertising dies. Every commercial, every advertisement, every sales pitch is now impossible. "This product will change your life" becomes, "This product is marginally different from competitors, but we're legally required to say it's revolutionary. I personally wouldn't buy it." Television commercials grind to a halt. The morning news anchors try to read the teleprompter for a pharmaceutical ad. Side effects include headaches, nausea, and possibly death. This drug is outrageously overpriced and probably not better than the generic. But our pharmaceutical sponsors pay us millions, so here we are. Sales careers simply cease to exist. Hour 5. Political collapse. By 10 a.m., every government on Earth is facing existential crisis. A press secretary tries to field questions. The president is carefully reviewing all options. What comes out? The president hasn't read the briefing. He's mostly concerned about his approval ratings and the next election. We're making this up as we go. A senator in the middle of a speech. "I believe this policy is what's best for the American people." Stops mid-sentence. Can't finish. Tries again. "I'm voting for this because my donors told me to. I haven't read the bill. I don't think I'd understand it if I did." Democracy as performance art is over. Hour 6. The relationship apocalypse. By noon, the full scale becomes clear. Millions of couples are having the worst conversation of their lives. "Do you still find me attractive?" "Not as much as I used to. You've gained weight and stopped taking care of yourself. But mostly, I'm just bored." "Do you ever think about other people?" "All the time. There's a guy at work I fantasize about. Nothing's happened, but I think about it." Marriages are ending at an unprecedented rate, not because of actions, because of truths that were always there but never spoken. But here's the thing. These relationships were already broken. Lying was just keeping them on life support. By the end of day 1, divorce attorneys are overwhelmed. Except they can't lie about their chances either. Can you win my case? Probably not. Your spouse has the better case. But I'll take your money anyway, because I need to make my boat payment. Society, as we know it, has fundamentally broken. But we're just getting started. Month 1. The Great Simplification. The first month is chaos. But humans are adaptable. And slowly, a new society starts emerging from the ruins of the old one. The first major change, radical honesty, becomes the only social strategy. People stop asking questions they don't want answered. "How do I look?" becomes a dangerous question, so people stop asking. Social interaction becomes transactional and efficient, but cold. "Do you want to hang out?" "No, I find you mildly boring, and I'm only friends with you out of convenience." Friendships collapse and reform based purely on genuine compatibility. Surface-level friendships, the kind built on polite tolerance, simply vanish. Paradoxically, the friendships that survive become deeper than ever before. When someone says, "I care about you," you know it's true. When someone says, "I enjoy your company," there's no doubt. Trust, which once required years to build, now comes automatically. But so does hurt. Month 3. The economic restructuring. Entire industries have collapsed. Marketing and advertising, dead. You can't sell products you don't believe in. Sales, mostly dead. Car salesmen who say, "This is a great deal," when they know it isn't, gone. Public relations, impossible. You can't spin disasters anymore. Politics, as we knew it, completely transformed. But new industries emerge. Radical authenticity consulting, teaching people how to navigate a truth-mandatory world. Emotional filtering services, people who help you figure out which truths to share and which to keep silent about. Verification services, ironically, less necessary. When people say something, they genuinely believe it. The economy contracts by roughly 20% in the first year. Turns out, a lot of economic activity was based on deception. But it stabilizes. Humans still need food, shelter, and entertainment. Month 6. The new social contract. Society has developed new norms. Norm 1. Silence is golden. When you can't lie, strategic silence becomes an art form. People master the non-answer. What do you think of my new haircut? You learn to read the silence. Silence means you don't want to know. Norm 2. Brutal efficiency. Small talk is dying. When you ask, "How are you?" you might get, "Depressed, my marriage is failing, and I hate my job." So people just stop asking. Greetings become, "Hello," not "How are you?" because nobody wants the real answer. Norm 3. Opt-in vulnerability. People create safe spaces where they explicitly agree to share difficult truths. Therapy becomes the most valuable profession because therapists are the only ones you want to be radically honest with. Norm 4. Children are the most honest and cruelest. Kids who never had a filter anyway are now unmanageable. Do you like my drawing? No, it's bad. Your proportions are wrong and the colors are ugly. Parents learn very quickly not to fish for compliments from their children. Year 1. The dating apocalypse. Dating in a world without lies is something else. First dates now sound like this.
I think you're physically attractive, which is why I swiped right. I'm looking for a relationship because I'm lonely, not because I'm ready. I have serious emotional baggage from my ex. My profile pictures are from 2 years ago when I was thinner. What about you? I'm mostly here because I'm bored and validation feels good. I'm not over my ex either. I'll probably ghost you if someone more attractive matches with me, but I'm willing to see where this goes. It's the most depressing yet honest first date in history. But here's the strange part. Relationships that do form are incredibly strong. Because every word of affection, every compliment, every "I love you" is verified truth. When someone says you're beautiful, you know they genuinely think so. When someone says, "I choose you," you know it's real. Divorce rates drop dramatically after the initial apocalypse because people only marry when they genuinely want to, and they stay married because they actually mean their vows. The social hierarchy reshuffle. Social status completely reorganizes. Who rises to the top? People with genuine skills and knowledge. They can verify their expertise. Those naturally kind and empathetic. Their niceness is now provably real. The naturally charismatic who didn't need to lie anyway. Who falls? Con artists, obviously. People whose success was built on networking BS. Anyone whose authority came from bluffing. Corporate climbers who faked confidence. Imposter syndrome becomes obsolete. You either can do something or you can't. No more faking it till you make it. Crime and justice transform. Violent crime drops by about 30%. Why? Because criminals can't lie to themselves anymore. The guy planning a robbery has to confront, "I'm about to hurt someone for money because I'm desperate and I've made poor choices." Some still do it. Desperation overrides honesty. But premeditated crime drops significantly when you can't lie to yourself about what you're doing. Police interrogations become trivial. Did you commit the robbery? Yes, I needed money for drugs. I knew it was wrong, but I did it anyway. Case closed. But here's the dark side. Laws have to be completely rewritten. Because now, asking someone, "Did you commit this crime?" violates their right against self-incrimination. You're compelling them to tell the truth. The Fifth Amendment becomes the most important protection in the justice system. Mental health crisis and recovery. Month 6 sees the worst mental health crisis in human history. Why? Because people are confronting truths they've spent decades avoiding. Do I love my spouse? No. Am I happy with my life? No. Do I like who I've become? No. Depression rates spike 40% as people face their authentic selves without the buffer of comforting lies. But then, something unexpected happens. By month 9, depression rates start falling below baseline. Because once people stop lying to themselves, they can actually address their real problems. I hate my job stops being something you suppress. You quit and find work you actually care about. I don't love my partner stops being a shameful secret. You either fix the relationship or end it honestly. I have a drinking problem, can't be denied anymore. You get help. Authenticity, while painful initially, turns out to be psychologically healthier than living in a web of lies. Therapy becomes the fastest growing profession because people desperately need someone to help them process their new, honest reality. But here's what absolutely nobody predicted: the compliment economy. When lying becomes impossible, genuine compliments become the most valuable currency in society. Think about it. In our world, compliments are cheap. You look great might be true or might be polite fiction. You never fully trust them. But in this new world, when someone says, "You're beautiful," they genuinely think so. When someone says, "I admire your work," they mean it. Compliments become more precious than gold. People start hoarding genuine praise. They screenshot kind words. They record voice messages of appreciation because you know it's real. And people become desperate for them because the absence of polite lying means you're also not getting false reassurance anymore. The narcissist collapse. Here's something fascinating. Narcissists and pathological liars, people whose entire existence was built on manipulation, have complete psychological breakdowns. Narcissists rely on two things: lying to others and lying to themselves about their own grandiosity. When both become impossible, they face a horrifying truth. They're not special. They're not superior. They're deeply insecure people who constructed elaborate false selves. Narcissistic personality disorder essentially disappears as a condition because you can't maintain the delusion anymore. Some adapt, most don't. The suicide rate among clinical narcissists spikes tragically in the first 6 months. The autistic renaissance. But here's the beautiful, unexpected outcome. Art explodes. Why? Because art is the only space where you can explore hypotheticals, emotions, and untrue things without lying. A novelist writing fiction isn't lying. They're creating acknowledged fantasy. A painter creating surreal images isn't lying. They're expressing subjective experience. Music, poetry, film, theater, all become more important because they're the only outlets for the human need to imagine things that aren't literally true. Fiction stops being escapism and becomes essential psychological relief valve. The most successful artists become those who can express emotional truths that people can't say directly. A sad song that says, "I'm drowning in loneliness," lets people experience that feeling without having to say it themselves. The Great Silence. Perhaps the strangest outcome. The world becomes much, much quieter. People talk less. Because when you remove phatic communication, the small talk, the social lubricant, the polite filler, you remove a lot of speech. Elevator rides are silent. Checkout lines are silent. Hallways are silent. Beautiful weather today was never about the weather. It was about acknowledging each other's humanity. But in a world where you can't lie, that comment becomes, I don't actually care about the weather. I'm just uncomfortable with silence and trying to fill it. So people just don't. Society becomes more introverted, more quiet, more internal. Some people love it. Introverts thrive. Extroverts suffer. The philosophy of truth. And then the deepest philosophical problem emerges. What is truth? Remember, people can still be wrong. They just can't lie about what they believe. So flat earthers can still say the earth is flat because they genuinely believe it. Anti-vaxxers can still spread medical misinformation because they truly think vaccines are dangerous. Conspiracy theorists can still share conspiracies because they believe them. The rule is, you can't say things you know are false. But humans are brilliant at convincing themselves that falsehoods are true. Society fractures into epistemic tribes, groups with completely different beliefs about reality, all speaking what they believe is truth. Truth becomes subjective, which means lying becomes impossible, but being wrong becomes easier than ever. The information crisis doesn't end, it gets worse. Because now, instead of saying, this person is lying, you have to say, this person genuinely believes something false. And there's no neurological fix for that. Misinformation spreads faster than ever because it's no longer lies, it's sincerely held false beliefs. And you can't fix that with a brain change. So here's the question this thought experiment really asks. Is lying a bug in human nature or a feature? We spend our entire lives being told that honesty is the highest virtue. Honesty is the best policy. The truth will set you free. But this scenario reveals something uncomfortable. Maybe we need lies. Not the big lies, the fraud, the betrayals, the corruption. Those we can live without. But the small lies, the social lies? You look great. You look tired, but I care about you. I'd love to help. I wouldn't, but I want to be a good person. That was delicious. It was fine, but you put effort in. These aren't deceptions meant to harm. They're kindness. White lies are how we show love in a world where brutal honesty would wound everyone we care about. Your grandmother shows you her paintings. They're terrible. But when you say, "These are beautiful, Grandma," you're not really lying about the art. You're expressing a deeper truth. I love you, and your joy in creating these matters more than objective quality. The lie about the art expresses the truth about love. Can you have compassion without lies? This scenario suggests, maybe not. The most compassionate people in our world aren't always the most honest. Sometimes compassion requires strategic dishonesty. The hospice nurse who tells a dying patient, "You're going to be fine," isn't lying about their prognosis. She's lying because the truth would rob them of peace in their final days. Is that wrong? Or is that the most ethical form of lying that exists? The uncomfortable truth about truth. Here's what we discovered in this hypothetical. A world of perfect honesty is more authentic but colder, more trustworthy but more hurtful, more genuine but less kind, more real but less livable. We romanticize truth. We imagine that if everyone were just honest, society would be better. But this thought experiment suggests otherwise. Society functions because we can lie. Civilization is built on a foundation of polite fictions. The customer is always right. They're not. We value your feedback. We don't.
Your call is important to us.
It isn't. I'm fine. I'm not. These lies aren't moral failures. They're social lubricant. They're how we get through the day without constant friction.
Remove them and society becomes brutally efficient, but emotionally intolerable. So what do we do with this? You can't unthink what you've just considered. The next time someone asks, "How are you?" and you say, "I'm fine," you'll remember this video and you'll realize you just lied. And maybe that's okay. The next time you tell someone, "You look great," when they don't, you'll catch yourself and you'll have to decide, is this kindness or deception? Maybe the answer is both. And maybe that's not a problem. Maybe the goal isn't perfect honesty. Maybe the goal is knowing when to lie and when to tell the truth. Strategic honesty, compassionate dishonesty. Perhaps the most mature moral position isn't never lie. Perhaps it's lie carefully, lie kindly, lie only when the truth would cause more harm than the deception. But that requires wisdom and judgment and acknowledging that you're capable of rationalization. Which brings us back to the deepest question. Can you tell the difference between a compassionate lie and a selfish one? Can you tell the difference between protecting someone's feelings and protecting yourself from consequences? Between social grace and cowardice? Between kindness and manipulation? If you can't, if you're not sure, then maybe this hypothetical world, as painful as it is, would be better, because it would force us to confront our real selves. But if we can navigate that gray area, if we can lie thoughtfully and truthfully confess when it matters, then maybe our world, with all its deceptions, is actually the more human choice. The question isn't really, what if lying was impossible? The question is, what are you lying about right now? And does it make you more human or less? What do you think? Could you survive in a world without lies? Or would you crack by breakfast? And more importantly, what are the lies you tell yourself that you'd be forced to confront? Let me know in the comments, and be honest. If you want more thought experiments that keep you up at night, subscribe. Next week, we're exploring, what if everyone knew when they would die? Thanks for thinking the impossible with me. I'm the Null hypothesis, and that's one hypothesis that wasn't null.